this is Pigsy doing another little vid, as I do. Just going to talk about copper acetate. I made a batch of it, which I explain in my other videos, and I've been using it mainly for this week, and I found no issues with it. Improvements, I think my skin looks better. It absolutely whack out bacteria. Dreams can be a bit better as well. Bowel movements can be better. If you suffer from any sort of IBS or anything like this, it seems to be that there's no issue there. I was aware that there's copper in aloe vera juice, and I was using some of that just to sort of relax the stomach. There's another area I wanted to touch as well upon today is just looking at our genetics and if we're engineered to say, and it's more alien intervention. Looking at the way we're designed, I mean, we've got this Darwin model, and you know, it's great that I've got my 5 digits, and you can match it up to a primate. But what's not being looked at is that life on this planet was imported across. So you've got a group of species that it could be basically designed by the same designer. So this is kind of the mark. So we'll give them these features. I mean, it's a bit like if you're an artist and you draw a picture of, say you ask to draw a picture of, if I draw a picture of a man, it would have some symmetry and connections with myself. I mean, I could draw other people by looking at pictures, but if I draw something out of my head, I noticed this when I was, I've been doing different designs, like nose shape might be similar or things like that. So we kind of, as artists or creative people, tend to do things in symmetry of ourselves. We add some of our ego to what we do. So that's one aspect. I mean, I'm not saying that what Darwin's ideas or the route he was going was wrong. It's just that it was a quick model that fit well at the time. That kind of answers that problem. But as we're getting more involved into genetics, it doesn't. There was 23 chromosomes, and there's a lot more in primates. There's a lot of biological differences as well. Our natural ability to swim from birth, I don't know if that exists within monkeys. I think that everyone has a natural ability to survive, but I think that side of things isn't so prevalent in the species, basically. There's other features as well. If you want to look at the map in the Darwin type of model, then if you look at the eyes, our eyes don't match up to any primates I'm aware of. To be honest, they're more, the white of it is more characterised as what you'd get with marine type mammals or 4-legged animals. I've seen, I think a horse eye might be similar to that. I have to have a look at different eyes and then get an idea. Basically, if I could just cut out the picture of the eye, and so that you couldn't see the thing, and I to say, right, let's put a row of these eyes in a row, and then say to people, which species do these belong to? They might say, well, they're different types of people. They might say they're all horse eyes, and I say, well, actually, there's a few human eyes in the mix there, or it depends where they come from, but they're not going to turn around and say, oh, they're primates, because they can't recognise it. I also noticed that dolphins' eyes are quite similar to humans, so it's quite a complicated issue, the genetic side of things. I wouldn't be sort of stuck on this idea, one species ruled the nest, created man, we become their slaves. What happened, I think, you've got several different groups have come in, especially after there's been disaster on this planet, or we've got the tail end of a war that's been raging up there. At a time of peace, it was just like, oh, well, just turn this place and import different life, and that was sort of, it's almost like a gift, bringing gifts to something that's new. I guess it's the type of planet that's quite special in some way. It's more about the planet than the life on it. And then you've got the other aspects of that. You've got a new planet with lots of different life forms, and then you've got other life forms in the universe, spirits who are coming across and joining that cycle of life. So you've got the soul body, your biological body, and also you've got your sort of spiritual essence, and where that started and where that's gone so far. So other work I've been doing with is I was looking at the flat Earth, and I thought, well, most people think we're ridiculous. How can Earth be flat and all that sort of stuff? But from the side of a holographic type model, I'm trying to find if there's a connection between what people understand is in segment small truths that could be all added together. There may be a way to say, well, they're all right, and then it's quite difficult to break people's down, and also you can get people on board by having shared concepts. I mean, I had a model, and basically it had the Earth like a vortex, and in the middle of it would go, so your North Pole, because there's hardly any ice, and it says because the angle to the sun, but it could actually be full angled into the sun, and it's the way the sun's rays are hitting it. But if you understand some of the physics of light is photonic, and it travels in photons, and then it transforms into a waveform. So that physics goes into the matter as well, and that matter is a form of light, really, light in frequency. So the frequency changes, the light changes. When light hits objects, is it bouncing off like a mirror, or is it going into the object, and then energy's been expelled out of the objects? So there's an interchange. I mean, I think one of the laws of energy is that you can't destroy it, you can't create it, but you can transmute it. It's always equal throughout the universe. It's a bit like what's going on with this sort of HAARP stuff, and that you've got charged ionosphere and different military using that. There is a way to diffuse that. I've seen, but they've done experiments where they've caused thunderstorms. If you blast something like that out, it actually weaken the electrical pulse within that area of the atmosphere, so it would diffuse a HAARP type thing going on. Possibly, as a theory, the government wouldn't like me saying that, or the military, but the reality is the enemy isn't really there. The enemy is a perceived enemy. It's the enemy's within. If people would want to fix economics and control and manipulate, but I think there's a change of where things are going in that sort of sense. These underground bases may be for all sorts of different reasons they're digging out. They may be rooting out some of their adversaries. Things may have changed. You get this David Icke type universe, and the idea is some type of Draco controllers in place, and then there's different caste systems within that. Some stuff relates. You could say there's a caste system within human society that seems to be imported into our society. Like, these type of people do this type of job. These are the type of levels of people. And authoritarian types are tend to be less emotional, or they tend to be more logically focused. You possibly get, if we would keep going along this model, you'll get is an AI system, and they say this is what you're suitable for, and you work amount, so you're kind of stuck in a rut. Of society. So if you're big enough, so it makes sense. Basically, we already know with the human species, because we seem to have best hormones in that sense. And if we manipulate and control, we do tend to eventually return back on that controllers. So it's a matter of time, and then, it would make logical sense to think, well, we take out the command structure, we take over, and then we can make the lower caste system, we can do a deal with them, because they're pissed off. That's the pissed off theory stuff. But I was talking at one point that a human group mixed with a reptilian group, they're like slave worker types. They tried to turn the guards, and it was a failed revolt. But why it might be failed is planted the seed. They know that. And the other group's thinking, well, how can we do it different next time? And I think it is kind of heroic in that sense. They've turned themselves into martyrs. So, you know, all it takes is a change of power vacuum, and a big quickly groups move into that. There's, so I think the elite are confused because if they believe to serve something, then they haven't quite got to serve to self, because serve to self is what they're trying to do. And basically, the concept of evil in that sense is that you will actually take out your competition because you want to be the head. If there's only one spot, there's only one top spot there. If someone's willing to go at a lower level, then there's something else. They're slightly served to others, so they're not the apex. If they're that far down, most people tend to put on this spectrum in somewhere, a mixture. Spiritually, it's best to be somewhere in the middle. You do serve to others, and you get benefit from doing that. You know, in certain areas like your family or whatever. And then you've got aspects of serve yourself. If you don't look after yourself, then you'll decline, your health will be in trouble, and all them sorts of things. So you got to take care of number one as well. You just got to get that balance. You might be might come across as a bit of a psychopath. You know, sometimes you're quite open and you're helping people, and other times you're actually a closed shop. You said, "No, that's fine. You know, I've done that. You know, at least take some time out for myself to do some things," and that kind of stuff. It's just don't be bullied into things that you're not willing to get involved in. Touching upon some of my research at the moment is I'll be looking at minerals and things, rare metals that should be in a body. I was wondering if the value of some of these metals is to do with health and the minerals side of things. We have a lot of vitamins, but we don't hardly touch upon any of the mineral side of things that our bodies need. I was thinking back, because of my pale skin, and then we tend to burn easy if you're a Caucasian. But when you look at things like sunscreen or sun protection, it actually has metals in it. So that might indicate that certain, based on your family lineage, your genetic structure, is what kind of minerals you and minerals, and your metals basically that you need in different ratio. It could be that some people can't. Some people have difficulty with certain things. They're allergic to types of metals. Their body reacts differently. With any of these kind of experiments, you start off very slow and see how your body responds. I mean, if you don't sense any problems with yourself, or you feel better. Another factor I've noticed with copper, it increases your strength as well. So I felt stronger yesterday. I was helping somebody out, and it was easy to sort of help him shift his weight in sort of a care type role. So I found that was easy, because in the past it affected my tendons, so now my tendons seem to be regenerating better. And I want to keep that level, because otherwise if you can't do any physical work like lifting weights and so on, if your tendons are going to bugger up. So yeah, some of the type of psychic aspects is that you might, with taking things like Ormus and so on, you may telepathically perceive people better. I've had that where people with speech impediments, they can't communicate properly, but I know what they want. You can guess intuition, you can guess people's behaviour, but it seems to be well switched on. It's like, oh yeah, you want a straw, right? You know, I don't have to wait for them to try to tell me. I can hear what they say, and then I can repeat what I think they've said, and then they can say it. They can even agree or disagree. If I'm, like give me the thumbs up, yeah, that's what I want. So yeah, it's gonna be that switched on. But I wanted to do a video today. I think it was just something I woke up and thought, this is something I'd like to do. And these thoughts come to the surface as they do. The other thing about genetics and people going about DNA activation, it may be connected to minerals, and rather than just a consciousness and other things there. So, you know, it's worth you do your own research, but I thought I'd throw this out and then see what people think. I'll stick my flat Earth model at the end of this video. Is it Hollow Earth? Is it holographic? As in a round circle in space now. But yeah, but just touching back on slightly, I've gone through all different subjects because it's all going on in multi-chat thing. Basically, if it's as a holographic thing as data is a frequency, when the light slows down, it can form that shape, and so you've got the Earth, but in fact it's a waveform. It's just transfigured. But if they're travelling, that's what happens, like a hyperspace, where everything turns into light, you know. But it's definitely not transfigured into something like it's a geometric type form. Same for humans, if we travelled into something, you might see yourself in this spherical body, rather than just turn to light and then back to where it is. This is Pixie signing off, and wish you a great day.